Hello all, welcome to another episode of Programming Made Easy, and today let us cover lists in Python. So lists are used to store multiple items in a single variable. Till now we have seen a value getting assigned to a variable, right? So the variable was able to hold only a single value. Now suppose you want to hold multiple values and under a single name, then we can go for list. So we can store multiple items in a single variable. A list is created by placing elements inside the square brackets and separated by commas. A list can have any number of items and they may be of different data types. So there is no hard and fast rule that it has to be of same items. In Python, the list can have any number of items and it can be of any data types. A list can even have another list, tuple, or dictionary. So the here also there is no limitation like it has to be a single means integer float and all. It can have the complex data structures like list, tuple, dictionary, etc. also inside the list. So here we have a list over here, and the name of the list is days, and it is having the items inside it as Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So yes, so this is the list that we have over here. If you note it, we are starting with, means all the items are enclosed, are kept inside these square brackets, and they are separated using commas. And if you check the type of days, it is list. Now coming to the features of a list. So list in Python are ordered and indexed. So always the items are arranged in an order as per creation. And order will not change even on recreation. New items will be placed at the end of the list always, and items are indexed, and because of that the list is able to maintain its order. And list is mutable, that is once a list is created we can change it again. More on mutability and immutability I'll be covering in my last video along with tuples. And list can allow duplicates also. So if the my list days over there is having an element Sunday, I can have n number of Sundays over there. It will allow that. So duplicates are also allowed in a list. Now let us just check out the indexing in list. Indexing in list we have already seen, it is similar to the indexing in a string. Means each item here, each item is having an index. So starting with my list had the items Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So starting with 0. Here again, you should notice that the indexing starts at 0. So starting at 0, 0, I'll be having Sunday, then 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the length of the list will be 4, but my last index will be 3 because the indexing starts at 0. But we have negative indexing also, and the last element starts at index -1, and -1, -2, -3, and so forth. So let us just see how this works. So here again, we can use the indexing operator to access the elements using the index. So days of 0, here we'll be having Sunday, days of -3. So if you see the list again, this is the list. So here this is 0, 1, 2, and 3. This is -1, -2, and -3. So -3 will be having, we should be getting Monday over here, Monday, and days of 3 is Wednesday, and days of -1, the last element, that is again Wednesday. So here we are using the indexing operator to get the items in each index, and we just use the variable, then use the indexing operator, that is the square brackets, and you give the index over there, you will be getting the item at that location. Now let us come to the operators in list. This we have seen the indexing operator. So here I have a list 3, 4, 5. I have not named it. I'm just using it like that. And then I am using the indexing operator to get the item. So at index 0, what am I having? I am having 3. So I'll be getting 3 over here. Now here plus is acting as a concatenation operator. So when we plus, so here what we are trying to do, we are trying to concatenate two lists. So we'll get a new list with all the elements of both the other list. Now here this asterisk symbol is or have acting as the repetition operators, and here what will happen, this list, the contents of the list will be repeated 4 times, and we'll be getting a new list over there. So if you see ABC, 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 so it is being repeated 4 times. So these are the three operators that we have in list. That is concatenation operator, we have the repetition operator, and we have the indexing operator. Now coming to list function. In list also we have a lot of functions which enable us to manipulate the list. So I have all the details of the functions are given in this link. So you can just go through the link and you will be able to understand the functions, what all things are there, and what is the meaning of each function and everything. You can understand from this reference link I have given over here. Otherwise, to get the length of the string, it is same length of the list, it is same as we used for string. So you just have to use the len function, and for days we had 4 elements, and so the length is 4. Now append. So let us just see what is append. Append object to the end of the list. So you have a list over there, you already created the list. Now suppose you want to append a new thing over there, then we use append. Yeah, so it, and now I have to just get the list again in order to list it. Yeah, so I pressed it 3 times, that's why Thursday is appended 3 times over there. Okay, and why I had to use the print it again, it is because, as I told, list is mutable. So all these manipulation operations that we do in list, it is changing the original list itself, it is not creating a new list. That's why when we perform the operation, we are not able to see the output, because it is not returning a new list for us, it is changing the original list. In case of string functions, if you notice, whenever we perform these operations, whenever we perform these manipulation operations or string, like string dot lower, string dot upper, string dot replace and all, you got an output from it. That is because it is creating a new string over there. And in Python, string is immutable, that is, it is not changed. So once a string is created in Python, we cannot change it. So whenever we do these operations like lower, upper, replace and all, what happens is it creates a new string and it returns as a string. That's why there we used to see an output over there. Here it is changing the original list over there, because it is mutable, and in order to see that, we have to print that list again. So that is what happened over there. Here I pressed the run button 3 times, so Thursday got appended 3 times over there. Now suppose you want to extend the list. Okay, so let us see. Extend list by appending elements from the iterable. So in case of append, what we say, we are just adding an item there. But if you have a iterable and you want to extend it, iterable means it is a data type which you can iterate again. Okay, so here I am having a list over here because this is an iterable. So I'll just run it. So I get Friday got appended over there. Okay, it can be any iterable over there, it can be a tuple, it can be even a string. So I'll just show what it is. So I'll give like this. So this is how it got added. So each element it took. And when I am keeping it as a list, what it does is it takes each element from the list. When I kept it as a string, again it took each element from the string. So from the iterable, it takes each element and it extends the list. That's the difference between append and extend. So if I add like this, see, Friday and 4 got added. Okay, so here it should be an iterable over here, and in case of an append, it would be just an item. So that's the difference. Now coming to insert. So insert is like insert object before the index. So if we give some index over there, if we mention some index, it will insert it over the here index and the object. So I gave 0 over here. So what happens? See, okay, again I have to print it because it is changing the same list. Saturday got added over before 0. So initially Sunday was having the index 0. So Saturday got added before 0. And 0 became the index of Saturday. Again I press it, ran it 2 times. So I have 2 entries of Saturday over there. Now coming to days. Those index. So index, what it will give, return first index of the value. So what, when we do check, this is to get the index of that particular item. So if you are giving an item over here, it will return as has the index of the first occurrence of that item. Since list can have duplicates, means it returns as the first index. So okay, so here Sunday is at index 2, so it returns as 2. The next function over here is pop. Let us see what is pop. Remove and return item at index. By default, it returns the item at last. Okay. So let us just see where is our list. Just before this, let me just see what is our list now. Current list. Okay, so this is our list now, and the item at the last is 4. Let us see whether it's returning 4. Yes, it returned 4. Now, remove. If you want to remove something, okay, so pop, what it does, it returns, it removes the item. Okay, it just pops out the item at the last. Okay, so if we check days again, see, 4 is gone. It just removed the item at the last index. Okay. Now remove. If you want to remove something, if you want to mention the item and if you want to remove it, you can mention the item name. For that, you have to use the remove function. And here it is not giving an error. That is because if you see here, Sunday is in capital letters, and we know that Python is case sensitive. So let me make it capital Sunday, and yes, I think it is removed. So let us just print it out and see this. Yes, there is no Sunday in the list anymore. Okay. Now coming here, count. If you want a count of the number of occurrence of some item, you can go for count. It's 0 because we removed the Sunday, right? Now if you want to reverse the list, yes, the list is reversed, and list is changed. The list is reversed and the original list is changed. So yes, the list is reversed now. Okay, now if you want to sort the list, okay, so sort, it is sorted. Let me print it again. See, the list is sorted now. And here also there are many options. If you see the help, you will understand. See, if you want to give, means how you want to sort it, that you can mention it over here in key. And if you want to sort it in ascending order or descending order, that also you can mention it over here. By default, it will sort it ascending order. Now copy. If you want to make a shallow copy of the list, it will do. So here you will be getting another list. So if I assign here, say days 1, day days 1, I'll get another copy of the list. Okay, just print days 1. Yes, I got a copy of the list. Okay, so del there is another operator del through by which also we can delete an element in list. So here we are deleting Monday. Sorry, we have to give the index over here. So I am deleting the first element in the list, and let me just print it out. Yes, the first Friday is gone. Here if you see the first, it was F over here in the list. Okay, so that is gone. So this is again a way of deleting an element from the list. So we saw 3 ways of deleting an element. One is pop, one is remove, and this del operator. Now join, we have already seen along with string. So if you want to join the elements in the list using with some delimiters, you can use like this, and it will return as a string. And here I am trying to join the contents of the list. Okay, use and separate them using commas. So I'll be getting a string over here. See, and days dot here clear. Clear means it clears the entire contents of the list. So I'll just use this one dot clear, and let me now print this one, and here we got an empty list. Now list iteration, this we have already seen using for loop. You can iterate through a collection. So here it is. Okay, for here I have again reassigned days as this thing. So each of the item in the list is printed over here because I have given print. So the syntax remains the same as we have seen in case of string, just here the collection is a list. And using while also we can iterate through a list. Only thing is that we'll be changing the index part of the list. See, index initially I made it 0, then I'm iterating till index is less than the length of the list, and then I am printing days of that index, means list. I'm giving the list and the index, and then I am incrementing the index. So this is the same way we printed string, like characters in string one by one. Here same way we are utilizing over here. But in case of list iteration and all, the for loop is better because it will do the iteration through a collection in a much better manner instead of doing all these manipulations that we have to do in case of a while. Now suppose here we have a list over here, and this list is having another list as an item. If you see, the list is having another list as an item. List as an item. So here this is index 0, this is index 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and at the fifth location index 5 we have this list. So I'm just iterating through the list over here and I get this. Okay, so all the items, so this is considered as a single item, so this item is a list. Now in order to access an element in that, what you have to do is, we know this my list of index 5 is this item. Okay, this we already know. So once we have a list, so this is a list that we know. So once we have a list, you just give the index over there, you will get the individual item of the list. Okay, so if you want to extract that 12, that is the item at index 1, you can just simply give 1 over here and you will get 12. That's all for list. So today we covered what are lists, how lists are created, what are the features of a list, then what's the indexing in list. It starts with 0, and in the negative indexing part it starts with -1, so the last element can be accessed using -1. Then we have the list operators like indexing operator, concatenation operator, and the repetition operator. We have list functions, and the functions are like append is used to add an item. Okay, you give the item over there. Extend is to add items present in another iterable. So it can be a list, it can be a tuple, it can be a string, it can be anything. We can insert an item at a particular index, where index function returns the index of an item. Pop by default removes the element at the last index, or we can specify the index also over there. Removes the item, whatever item we give there, it removes that. Then count returns the number of times an item is repeated. Reverses the list. Sorts the list. Copies and gives us a shallow copy of the list. Del is again used to list remove an item. Then we can use join to join the items in the list with a delimiter, and we'll get a string over there. Clear is used to remove everything from the list. Then we have a list iteration can be performed using for loop and while loop. Then we have nested lists. That's all for today. Thank you.